it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I've got a colouring haul for you. So I have some books and then I have some stationery art supplies, which some could be related to colouring as well, but I'll show those at the end. So if you're not interested in watching or seeing those, that's absolutely fine. So I don't normally do many hauls anymore because I don't buy a lot of things, because I just know that I'm not going to be able to work in them as quickly as I buy them. So I've been quite restrained, or much more so than I used to be. I mean, I think I used to do hauls every month for a couple of years, and whilst I didn't always get a lot, and I would usually show stationery related things as well, I still really enjoyed doing them, but it's just not something that I can do every month. So I have a few things to share with you, which I'm really excited. I have 5 books to share with you, and then, like I said, some of the stationery things as well. And I'm really chuffed because I've managed to work in 3 of the 5 new books that I've bought already, which is quite an achievement. I don't like to just have books sitting and, you know, I've bought them and I haven't worked to them. The only one I've got at the moment is the nature book by Rada Prince that I haven't managed to get to yet, which I bought end of last year. But these books all range from January until now. Some of the stationery stuff I bought at the back end of last year, but the reason that I managed to get quite a few books in succession was because I had some tip money from work that I had left over. So when my money comes through, I put most of it into my savings, and then I keep my tips for more kind of fun stuff. And then likewise, when my YouTube money comes in, that's also for the channel / stationery things. So I will do hauls when that comes in, and as and when I buy things, because I like to share those things with you. But yeah, let's get started. So the first book I have is Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. Now I have already shown the completed page in this, so I will share this one with you. The other 2 I won't, because I will do a completed pages video at some point sharing those pages, and because I don't colour a lot nowadays, I want to kind of keep them for that video. This is so beautiful. Marcel got this for me as one of my Valentine's Day presents, and I love it, and I'm really glad that I managed to do the picture that I did. Actually at uni, I finished it right before we came back from the end of before the VAC started. If you want to hear more about it, I have talked about it in my completed pages. This is the English edition. Now I did mention that the paper isn't my favourite. The whole bind's worked brilliantly in this. It's just a case of I really love when the hardback books have luxurious thick paper, and compared to the other Maria Trolle books I have some that have really good paper. They're the Dutch editions, and some of them not so good. So I have been looking into potentially getting the fairy tale book Sagan with the thick Dutch paper when my YouTube money comes in. So it may be that I do that, but I love this book. I love the illustrations, and I can't wait to work in it again. I think it's so beautiful, and I don't mind that some of her images are getting less detailed. It's actually works in my favour. I love this one. But yeah, I know some people have seen that her style has changed quite a bit, and they're not as much of a fan of her newer books, but I just love the aesthetic of this book. I love the cover. I think the cover art is beautiful. It's probably my favourite of all of her books, with Sagan as well. I love the new vibe that she's gone for. So that's Shooting Star, and I mean, as always, it's a hardback. I love hardback books, so I cannot complain. Then we have Fairy Tales and Folklore. This is by Emily Lidehall Oberg. This is the reprint of Saga och Sagna. Now I did have that book, and I probably got about 8 pages in that book years ago when I kind of first got into colouring. So it must have been kind of one of the first overseas books that I've got, if you know what I mean. So I think my first must have been Menuet de Bonheur by Koko Gusa and Magical Delights by Clara Markova, and then that book was then shortly following on from those. I'm really happy to have this because the paper quality of this is amazing. So much better. Like, this for me is the dream book for all books to be. It's hardback, it's got the thick paper, the quality is just amazing, and believe it or not, it really wasn't even that expensive. I think I managed to get mine for about £14, which, you know, compared to the Clara Markova books, it's really good value. And I'm so excited to colour illustrations again that I did previously, because some of them I just really wasn't happy with. I didn't really have a clue about fur when I started. I was quite overwhelmed by the fact that she would just, especially with the bigger animals, just kind of do the fur on the outside like here and then just leave the space, and I didn't really know how to tackle it, and I think I have a better idea of how I would do that now. Some of the more detailed pages do still intimidate me a bit, especially with all the houses and the lines, and I don't really know what I would do with them. I love the new illustrations. I'm not so much a fan of portraits, as that's just a general thing for me. It's nothing to do with Emily's illustrations specifically. I could definitely do this mermaid. That wouldn't scare me so much. It's not even that they intimidate me that much, it's just that I'm not drawn to them really at all. I haven't done many portraits. I love the new ones with the animals though. The mice one, that's gorgeous. I might do that for my birthday this year if I have time. So yeah, all the animal ones, big tick. Love those. Really like this one as well. And I think they blend in really well with the older illustrations. I'm sad we don't have the Santa in this, but I coloured that in my last one, so that's not a biggie. But yeah, some of the ones that I did before, I did the deer. I don't like, this is like the only one that I really am not a fan of in this book. It scares me a little bit. I might try and see if I ever did do this one, if I can change it up a little bit. I just don't really understand it. I don't know what it must be a fairy tale or something, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to do more pages in this. So yeah, like I said, I have already done a page in here, which I'm not going to share because I'll wait for completed pages. I've done this one, but it's the bunny in the keyhole, and I think I shared a whip of it that I was working on in my completed pages. So that is now finished and I'm very chuffed with it. So I'll just be careful not to show it, but yeah, I think it's gorgeous and I love this one. I'd really like to do that one again actually. I don't know if that's a misprint or whether that's actually how it's meant to be, but either way it's so beautiful. So that is Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Lidehall. Then we have Leon's Journey by Koko Gusa. Again, this is one that you've probably seen because I did a flip through of it, and Koko very generously sent this to me to review, and I've thoroughly enjoyed colouring the page that I've done in this. I finished it yesterday, so it's very much a new page that I've completed, and yeah, really enjoyed it. It was the bunny hugging the chicks, and I've seen lots of people do that page, and whilst I was going to go for a different one because I'd seen lots of people do it already, I just gave in. I was like, no, I have to do it. You'll probably see the purple peeking through for the background, but yeah, I'm glad I went for a spring picture. I mean, ideally if I had time I'd want to do one in each of the seasonal sections each time the seasons come around, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I had a couple of others picked out, so the rainy day fashion one or this wreath was one that I wanted to do, and then also this one because it reminded me of Peter Rabbit. So they were the ones that I had picked out, but yeah, I just think it's a gorgeous book, probably her best in my opinion. I just think it's amazing, so I can't wait to work in this again. Hopefully it won't be too long and I can get around to either summer or autumn. But that's Leon's Journey, beautiful book. And then we have the two that I haven't yet worked in. So we have A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo. Now this might be a little bit of a sorry, I can't speak, a bit of a curveball book. For those of you that have watched me for a while, you may be thinking, oh, why have you got this? Because I have had Lulu Mayo books in the past. I don't work in them very much. I did have, I still do, have A Million Unicorns and the Sloth one, which I haven't worked in, and I was contemplating and probably will still de-stash it. The unicorn one, I just wasn't really happy with the pictures that I did. I felt like my colouring style looked very bland. I'm not entirely sure that her style works for me. I really want to love it, and I do. I really like this book. I also have A Million Cute Animals. This is definitely my favourite. I love the added detail in this book. I think that's what's drawing me more to it. I love that she's added all of the fur in to the animals, and I also like that this is a mixture of different animals and not just one. I know in her books, even though it's a million sloths, she still has other animals in it, but I think I like having the variety. As you can see, I have picked out pages that I would really like to do. There are some nice ones in here for Easter. I love this one, and I love this one, and I love this one and this one. I'm just not really sure how to go about these. As you can see, I picked that one out, so I thought that would be nice for Easter. I don't know whether to have this as a chill book where I use fine liners and gel pens and do minimal shading and just kind of have it for a stress reliever in that sense, not worry about how things are coming out and just colour. But then again, there are some pages that I really, really like, and I know that I would like to do with shading and things like that. And normally when I go into a book, I want to have a consistent style throughout. And I do have some books that are just watercolour, or some that are just with pens, and that's what I'm kind of using the other Lulu Mayo books for. I kind of feel like this one for me is a bit of a departure from her other books, and I would like to colour in my normal style with these. I may still use fine liner bases, but with her other pictures I've just done fine liner and or pens and just left it and used lots of glitter and things like that. So we'll see. That's why I haven't worked in it yet, because I'm still deciding, and I really do like it. I also really love A Million Magical Creatures. I'd like to get that one, but I don't want to buy it until I've figured out this. I think that's really the only other one that I'd want to get if I was to do them. So we'll see. We'll see. I have many thoughts kind of swirling around, and I don't really know how to tackle it yet, but I love the detail. I love it. I really like the different styles of pages she does as well. Love these two, especially the circular images. So that one might be quite a nice one for Easter, but I'm just a bit, the whole fur thing, I coloured. I coloured the deer in Animaux de Bois. So it might be nice to colour some different animals. So we'll see. It shouldn't, because it's probably out of all of the books that I've got. Well, no, it's not actually. It should be the least intimidating, and for some reason it's not. But I thought, you know what, I'm buying the next book that I'm going to show you as well. I'll get it because it was about £6 on Amazon, and I'll give it a go. I'll dive into it at some point and see. And if it's not for me, it's not for me. I know that when I leave home, I'm going to have to do a massive de-stash anyway of books, or just think really carefully about the ones I'm going to keep and the ones I'm going to pass on. So whilst I have the opportunity, I might as well try and see if it's for me or not. But that's definitely my favourite book of hers at the moment, along with Magical Creatures. The final book I have to share, I'm very excited about. This is Secret Worlds by Stephanie Law. Now, this has been a book on my radar for years, and I have known about it for years, and I have wanted to get it. One, the details have always scared me, and two, it was kind of always in the back of my mind, but I never actually bought it. There were always newer books coming out, but no, I always kind of thought of it, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got some money left over, I must get this. It's beautiful paper. It's the Get Creative 6 paper, and I cannot for the life of me remember which other books are also printed on this paper, but it's lovely, and they're also single-sided, so they didn't really need to do it single-sided, but for those of you who love alcohol markers, I'm glad that they have. But in terms of the thickness of the paper, it's just really good. Having said that, they're probably too detailed to kind of get in there with your alcohol markers properly, but it intimidates me so much, but at the same time I'm so excited to work in them. It's the same vibe as Layla Dooley. I just can't wait to get started in a page on a page, and then as soon as I do, I just kind of get overwhelmed, which is why I have that whip in Beautiful Planet at the moment. I had a few pages picked out. I'm going to take this to Devon. I'm going to Devon this week with Marcel, and I'm taking a few books with me to give me choice, and I'm going to take this just to have, and if I start working on the page that I want to start working on, I will, and we will see. But I think it's the perfect opportunity and the perfect sort of page to start working on in Devon. I'll show it to you. So we've got this one, which is one of the least detailed pages. Colouring with Kay has done a beautiful rendition of this. I like that there's more background space, but at the same time, do I? Because I don't really know what to do with it. Because you see here how this is kind of outlining the sense of a frame. So I would have to add it in, which is fine. I add frames in all the time. That's what I've done with my picture in Leon's Journey. But it's very floral. I always do florals. I always gravitate to florals. And I think for me, I would like to do something else. So the other picture I had picked out, which is the one that I want to do. Oh, no. No, excuse me. It's not that one. Although I do really like that one as well. It's this one. I love the turtle. I love it. And I really like the way this page has been drawn with the different perspectives. I'm not really sure where things start and where things end and what some of the background things are. That doesn't really matter to me. I love it, and I think the whole point of this book is that it can be whimsical and it can be anything that you want it to be. Whereas with Layla Dooley's books, I feel a certain sense of wanting to make sure things are accurate. I don't get that with this, and I think it would be an opportunity to go wild and do anything I want, really. I would colour the turtle traditional colours. I would maybe do these flowers as kind of water lilies, and yeah, that's where I sort of get stuck. Again, I think this would need a frame. There's no way, absolutely no way I would finish this in Devon, so I don't need to worry about getting to these edges. But when it came to doing the background, I could easily add that in. Normally I do backgrounds first, so normally I say to people, if you're struggling and if it's a detailed page, colour the background first and then the other elements will pop out and it will be much easier. But I think my approach with this would just be doing it bit by bit, and just, yeah, kind of taking it like that. And there's no reason why I couldn't just leave those background bits. And so yeah, I could do the turtle, do these seaweed bits, and then start doing the background, things like that. But yeah, it really just excites me so much, and I think it would be really fun. And I definitely have my colours written down for how I did my turtle in Small Victories, but I think I would use that as a base and then use Holbein's instead. So I would just convert the colours from what I used in Small Victories, which would have been my Faber-Castell Black Edition and my polychromos. Definitely calls for fine liners. Yeah, it just really excites me, and I think it would be fun. So yeah, I'd love to start that one. Definitely do the turtle at least. And then we have this one as well, which I love. I, again, really like the different worlds we have in this with the rabbits or the hares. I'm not really sure what they are. And then the mermaids in the water. That feels like a completely separate scene to me. I love that one as well. Little doll's cute over here as well. So yeah, there are some pages that I really like in this book and that I would like to get to. So this is really, really exciting, and I've held off because I didn't want to start something in Oxford when I didn't have time. So yeah, that's a must-have to work on soon. It'll probably be the case that I have a whip going on for ages in it, like the Brown Bearwood colouring book. That's also one that I'm going to be taking to Devon because I have the colours already pulled out. So I would like to continue working on that one. So I'm going to move on to the stationery bits now. So I have a couple of cards to show, which I know, like if you don't want to watch this, don't feel that you have to, but I always like sharing the little random things that I found, which are really lovely. So yeah, anyway, cards have literally nothing to do with even stationery, but it's one of my favourite companies, so I have to share. Marcel and I have a big thing for penguins, and this is Cambridge Imprint, one of my favourite companies, and I saw this concertina card in a shop that we have in Oxford, gorgeous. So I keep that in my room as a display card rather than sending it. I got my mum the new hedgehog one for Mother's Day, and it literally, this shop is one of those shops that has, it's quite hidden away. It's one of these like £5 bookshops, and it just has cards by Cambridge Imprint that I've never seen before. It's gorgeous. Then I have this card, which I'm not going to take out of the wrapping, but I found it in there's like this shop where you can get really old prints and maps and things like that, which it's such an Oxford vibe. And Marcel and I went in and they had these cards, and this is iridescent. I'm not sure if you can see, but I've had this displayed as well. And it says blossoms and moon. Really like it. But yeah, it's just got this lovely iridescent sheen to it. I thought it was really beautiful. Then in Ryman's, I was very shocked. They've started doing Japanese stationery, which I'm very excited about. So I've got these transfer stickers, which are, I had them when I was younger. I got transfers of tiny letters and I would scribble over them with pencil and make sentences and things with them. And I didn't really realise until a few years ago with Japanese stationery that transfer stickers even still existed. Sorry about that, I just had to turn the washing machine off. Yeah, maybe that was just me being silly that I didn't realise they still existed, but I'm very happy they do because I love these. I almost think these would be perfect to add to colouring pages because they would blend in really nicely. You could probably go in and add extra shading on them. They do have a kind of a shiny texture, but I think they would work nicely in some books just to add the odd vine or flower. I love them and I really like the colour palette. I love the folk style, so very happy about those. And I actually saw them in London Graphic a few weeks ago, and they were more expensive as well, so yeah, they are very cute. And then I ordered off Etsy, these were really inexpensive, but from this lovely shop, these 2 turtle stickers. I'm never going to use these, I'm just putting that out there now, but she has, I'm not quite sure how she's made them, but maybe they've been die cut or something. I'm not sure whatsoever, but they're made out of these beautiful papers. They're like £1 or something each, and they're just so beautiful and really cute, and I love them. And they're just something that eventually when I'm older will go into a treasure box, and I will never use it. I'll just enjoy looking at them. I think they are so adorable, so very chuffed with those. And now I can't get them back in the envelope. I don't want to, there we go, don't want to bend them. So we have this lovely shop in Scriptum called, we have this lovely shop in Oxford called Scriptum, and it has loads of vintage stationery, lots of stationery from Florence. It's very expensive, so I'm going to wait until I go to Florence this summer to stock up again on my Italian stationery rather than tripling the price and buying stuff in the UK, because it just is very, very expensive. But they had these, which were one of the new things that I'd never seen before, and they are sticky tabs, and they come in this little book. And for some reason I saw them once and I started seeing them everywhere in different places, but it opens up like this, and they are the lovely kind of plasticky feel tab. They're very thick, and I thought these would be lovely for not only to mark my colouring books, but also just to have generally as part of my stationery. I love all of them. I think they're gorgeous, and I love the way they're presented as well. I think that's really, really fun. But yeah, I go in occasionally just to see if they've come in with anything new, and I'm glad that I did, because I found those and also a Mother's Day present for my mum. So one of the things I got her was this garland by East End Press. I'm going to show you a card in a second that I got from them, and it's ochre, like yellows and yellow ochre butterflies, which I thought would be really nice for the kitchen or just for the house in general. So then I got a few things from London Graphic when we went a few weeks ago. I went to see Marcel in London, and we went to Covent Garden, and London Graphic is actually on 7 Dials, so It's one of my favourite places. They had this, which I had wanted to get. I'd kind of fantasised about the idea of getting one of these years ago. I didn't even know, again, if they existed. And when I found this, I was like, oh my gosh, it does. So this is a peelable sticker book. And as you can see, I've put some random stickers that I've made in here. And yeah, you can peel them off, and they are double-sided pages to put stickers in, or washi tape, or anything you want really. Maybe someone gives you a sticker and you want to keep it and you put it in here. Like, it's just such a cool idea. I'm not selling these stickers currently. I'm selling Cambridge imprint stickers only. But if you are interested, my shop is open until the middle of April. These ones are just ones that I've made and I wanted to keep in here because they are like random papers that I've had on presents. So there's also little pockets to put things in. So yeah, I just love this. I think it's really cute. So yeah, alongside my stickers, I'm also selling my bookmarks as well. So I am going to branch out at some point with different patterns of papers. I have some gorgeous bungalow papers. You search up the company Bungalow, it's amazing. As well as doing wrapping paper, they also do cushions and things like that, and loads of fabrics and gorgeous things. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. I also love that London Graphic do a 15% discount for students, which I very much appreciate. I got these label stickers, which have 12 in with 4 different designs. I'm not going to open it because I don't think I've opened it yet, and I don't want them all falling out randomly. But you can see that they're like really easy to write on. They've got gold foiling, which I thought was beautiful. They're just really, really sweet. So they have, as you walk in, they have a really lovely, amazing selection of Japanese stationery. And I also got these because I am mad about polar bears, as you know, and also penguins. So this was like the perfect sticker set. So these are stickers and not transfers. And I know that Marcel also really loved them, and you know, I'm sure he would love if I put the occasional one on a card or something. There are also some seals and otters as well, I think they are. Just really, really adorable. So luckily, I think you get doubles of everything. So you get one set here and one set here, because I was really worried. I don't think they're backed onto the colour. I think they're clear. Yeah, they're just clear. But I'm really glad that you get a double of them, because I like to have more than one of things, because I'm scared about using them and not being able to find them again afterwards. So they are really cute. And then talking of East End Press, we'd gone to Harrods and just have a look around, and in the stationery section, which I wasn't that impressed with. I always find with these department stores, I haven't been to Selfridges, so I can't comment on that. Liberty's stationery section has got better over the years. It in my opinion, wasn't good at all a few years ago. The Harrods one, not so sure. It was basically a small stationery section within the bookshop, which I guess is like any other shop, like a Waterstones. But when you go to a department store and there's a stationery section, I guess you expect it to be bigger and more full than it is. But I could not complain. They had so much East End Press, and again, I'd never really seen them in shops before. When I bought the garland for my mum, I was like, oh, I've never seen this before, and then they were popping up everywhere. So oh gosh, I don't think I want to take this out of the packaging, but this is a stand-up card, which again I will display. I saw this on their Instagram and I loved it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just couldn't bear buying it online though, because the shipping was basically as expensive as the card itself. So essentially it pops up and it stands, and there's also a camel to go with it as well, which I think would be gorgeous. But the envelope has also got the elephants on it as well, and I love the gold, but I think they're screen printed. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, it's so gorgeous. So that's that. And then the last thing I have to show you is something that I got ages ago when I went to Choosing Keeping. I think this must have been the very beginning of January, to Choosing Keeping in also basically in Seven Dials as well. So every time I go to London, pretty much, I will go to Seven Dials, Choose and Keep It. Seven Dials and go to Choose and Keeping and London Graphic Design, and then go to Covent Garden itself. And I got a couple of things. So I also did go recently, but I got another one of these paper pads, so I won't bother showing you both because I haven't started using it. But I got these lovely stickers, which I'm glad I bought at the time because they always switch out their stock and they didn't have them out on display. What I did figure out was that they do have everything in stock downstairs. They just choose to switch things in and out. So neither of these things were there when I went back like a week and a half ago. And I asked if they still had this, and they did, which I was very happy about. But these, I'm sure they do have. They just didn't have out. But I love these. These are some Japanese stickers. And then this book is one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen, and I don't think there's anywhere else. I looked online, there's nowhere else you can get this. So I thought, well, Imogen, if you're going to be using this for origami and things, you only get one of each design, as I will show you. Have a second one so that you can use these for stickers and your origami stars and things like that, and then you have another one of the designs. So this is it's a sample pad basically of loads of different designs. I'm assuming this is Florentine paper, Italian paper, but just look at these designs. I've had this before. I've seen this before. I've got it in a pencil that I got in Florence, so it is the real deal stuff, this paper. They are just stunning, and as I said, each one is different. And for my friends and their birthdays, what I've been doing is doing a little origami star decoration. So I've put string on it, I've sewn it through, and I've used some of the papers already, and this is what's left of them. So I can definitely make a few stickers out of these papers. But yeah, I've just been kind of really, this is just so precious to me, and it's one of my new favourite acquisitions. I didn't even know this sort of thing, you know, you could get it, but they are so beautiful. So yeah, stickers, origami, things like that, that's what this will be being used for. Love this. I mean, I could even get tiny cards, cut a square and have it as a card with a little white border, and that would look really pretty as well. I love the paper on the front as well. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, this has got to be one of my favourite finds over the past months. And well, it was weird because when I was in Florence, they didn't even have this, as far as I'm aware. I don't know whether it's a new thing or not, but they didn't have anything like this when I went to Italy. So I am going to Italy a lot this summer, and I'm so excited because I'm going to Venice, and I just know that the stationery shops there are going to be lovely. If you've been and you do have any recommendations for shops, please let me know, because I am very excited and I'm already kind of saving up, because I know this is going to be kind of a once in a lifetime, and you know, if I see stuff I will definitely get it. But yeah, I'm going to Venice, Rome and Florence. So I know about all the shops in Florence. I was there for a week, so I pretty much sought out every possible stationery shop and did all of the museums and things like that when I went. This time, Marcel and I are going for 3 nights in each place, I think, but we only have 2 full days in each place. So yeah, if you do have any recommendations, please let me know. I would be so excited to hear about them. That's everything I have to share with you. I know these things are more stationery related, but nevertheless, I hope that you enjoyed watching. If you got to the end, I really appreciate it if you got to the end of this video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Everything will be down below as usual. As I said, my shop is still open until the middle of April. I will be away in Devon, so things won't get dispatched for a little longer. But I have changed the dispatch times on my shop. And yes, if you want to contact me privately, my email is down below. Alternatively, if you want to comment and ask anything, let me know. I always love hearing from you, and I'm slowly managing to get back to comments. But yeah, thank you so much. Take care, and I will see you all soon. Bye.